This is Gary Rosen. How are you? If you can hear me, can you change your little smiley faces to yellow? Should be able to see that. There goes a few. Excellent. Okay. Well, Scott Griffin is on board, and he is our presenter today, and should be dialing in momentarily.
Hey, Gary, you there?
There's Scott. Hey, Scott, welcome. How are you?
Doing good.
That's great. I think we've got folks on board, and I had them change their little smiley faces to yellow if they could hear, and I'm seeing some yellow faces, so I think we're probably in pretty good shape here. So I'm going to turn it over to you, and let me know if I can help.
Okay. All right, everyone. My name is Scott Griffin. I'm with Carlson Software, and the other gentleman is Gary Rosen. He'll be helping me at the end of this. He'll be also answering questions while he's going through it. One thing that I want to bring up here is that Carlson Civil 2008 has a LotNet program. That's what you guys are here to watch. Another thing about the software, let's hang on here. There we go. Carlson Software was established in 1983, running on AutoCAD since 1989. We have over 70 employees, and we're headquartered out of Maysville, Kentucky, with our development team in Boston. We're totally focused on data collection, survey, civil, mining, estimating, and machine control. We pretty much have the full circle as far as start to finish on a project. We have Carlson Civil 2008, Carlson Survey, Hydrology, which Bruce Carlson will be doing a demonstration on that on June 20th. We also have our GSI package. The Carlson software works on top of AutoCAD, AutoCAD Map, Land Desktop, or Civil 3D from versions 2000 to 2008. And we also, if you buy all the packages together, it's called Civil Suite. Some of the other product line that Carlson has is we have Explorers, we have Takeoff software, we've got Survey, we got Roads, Site Manager, CSI. We have pretty much all of our mining products. We have our CNG and Simplicity software. Well, let's take a look at the LotNet monster and then learn how to tame the monster of designing subdivisions. One of the things that I've dealt with planners and engineers over the years is what's the best way to lay out my subdivision? I want a tool that will allow me to make modifications once it lays in my lots, and that's what I'm going to be showing you. Let me go ahead and exit out of here. And let me go ahead and pull up the AutoCAD. What I have here, I'm working inside of AutoCAD. I have my boundary of my subdivision. I've got my center line of my roadways, and I've got my right-of-ways in there. And that can be placed in the drawing using Carlson or just using plain AutoCAD. These are just polylines straight from AutoCAD, no special objects. And one of the things that's nice about this is that you can use your trim, extend, any of your commands in AutoCAD to be able to modify things up. Well, let's go ahead and get started in RoadNet. I'm going to use the icons here under RoadNet. We also have it under Area Layout. So if I go to Area Layout, we've got all of our tools in there also. So I'm going to go, first of all, I'm going to go to Lot Network Settings. I'm going to set up a Lot Network file. This is going to be called ShermanOaks.ltn. That's the binary file, LTN, that we'll set up. I'll go ahead and pick Open. Inside of here, I don't have a road network shown on this project. I will do that as soon as I finish this project here up. I'm going to turn off my label lines and arcs, and I'll show you that a little bit later on. I will have it label my areas for me. And inside of here, you can come in here and you can hit Edit, and you can set up like your perimeter, like square feet. I've got that as order number 1. My suffix is square feet. I've got acres set up as my second thing, which will be called acres. And my third is my lot description, which I'll have a prefix of LOT. You can also change up your precision in here. You can change up what layer you should have it on, what text style, Roman C, Roman D, Roman S, simplex, whatever you want to use there. Your text size scaler, you can set that up in the software. Let me go ahead and hit OK. I will also check on draw setbacks because I want to draw my property setbacks. And I want to keep this, my front setback, let's go ahead and change, let's go ahead and leave it at 20 feet. My side setbacks, I'll keep that at 10. And I'll keep my back setbacks at 10 also. Also, I can set this on any layer that I want to put this on when it draws the line work in for my setbacks. All right, we're ready to go here. Let's go ahead and pick OK. And my next thing is to go pick my boundary. So my boundary is a closed polyline. So I'll come in here and I'll select my boundary. And now that's defined my area where to put my lots out to. Now, the next icon is road network. We're not going to use that right now. And the next thing I need to do is go into add right-of-way polylines. So I need to add my right-of-ways in here for us to lay in our lots. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll pick my right-of-way. I've got 3 right-of-ways here. Now, all 3 of them have been added. And you can look at the AutoCAD command prompt down at the bottom where it says 3 total. All right, well, let's go ahead and set up our lots to subdivide our areas. And inside of here, it tells me in AutoCAD, pick inside area to subdivide. So I'm going to pick on the outside. And then it brings up, I can have it set up for prompt for each area. I won't do that. I'm going to keep it at 15,000 square feet with a minimum frontage of 50. I'm going to use setback for minimum frontage. So my frontage setback is a minimum of 10. My minimum side distance is 100. My minimum back distance is 0. You could put in 50 or 20 or 40, whatever you need there if you want to change that up. We also have the maximum right-of-way back offset. We put in here the interior reduce offset, which I've got set to 0.1. Now here's the thing that, as a designer, that you may come in and change quite often, is the remainder. Like I have mine set up to add to last lot, or if a client said, you know what, I've got this much acreage here, try to fit in as many lots as possible, and I want them to be, 12,000 square feet or something like that, or roughly around 12,000 square feet. You can have it set up to apply equally to all lots. But I've got mine set up so it's 15,000 square feet, and then we'll add to last lot the actual remainder of it. Now the layer on this, I've set this up to be lot underscore edge. You can select any layer that you want, or you can make a new layer. All right, let's go ahead and hit OK. If you notice, it highlights the right-of-way going all the way around my property here. So what I'm going to do, down in AutoCAD, it tells me to pick end of frontage to start lots. So I'm going to pick at the front. And it's going to start laying in my lots for me. And it's starting to figure out 15,000 square feet while it's going around. Now, the only thing I had it turned on for is to actually label the square feet and acreage and the lot number. I don't want to show my bearing and distance on here yet, or do my curve or line tables. I just want to show the tools, be able to show how you can design your lots out and modify them. Okay, now you can see all my different setbacks I have in here. Now one of the things you may say is, look at this area over here. You may want to change this up as a designer and say, you know what, I don't like these, how this came out. So you want to make changes to this. So we give you a tool here that is called Remove Lot Edge. So if I come in here and I pick on this, I'll pick on both those lots. It removes them, and it tells me I've got 45,000 square feet in here. Now, I want to divide these out. I want to put a 15,000 square foot lot here at the bottom. I want to have a 16,000 square foot and a 14,000 square foot. Let me show you how you can do that. You can go over to Subdivide Area, pick Inside. I'm going to go ahead and keep it at 15,000 square feet. I'll go ahead and pick up my end point of the frontage, and it lays in my lot right here for me. Now, I still have 30,000 left over, and what's nice about this is I can just use AutoCAD Polyline. I'm just typing PL Enter. I'm going to use my Shift Nearest command in AutoCAD, kind of grab it, let's say right there. And then I'm going to use Shift Nearest again, and I'm going to grab the back of my lot. And I'm just going to kind of go, well, that looks good enough right there. So now I've added this line in here by just using AutoCAD. I'll come over to Add Lot Edge, pick on it. When I do that, it divides my area up for me. Now let me window into this so you can see this better. This one's 15,093.1. Well, this is the lot I want to be 16,000 square feet. So what I can do now is come over here and use the sliding side area. So I'll use that. I'll pick inside my lot. It says pick inside lot to adjust. Select the lot edge to adjust. So this is the edge that I want to adjust here. And then enter in your target area. So I'm going to enter in 16,000 square feet. Hit the enter key. And when I do that, it changes my lots up, but it also updates my text. I got 16,000 here, and I've got 14,000 here. That is a nice way to be able to modify and adjust. If you're a designer that's laying out lots, you can see how powerful these tools are. They may seem simple, but it's one of those things that we've always wished we had tools like that in the past. Okay? Now, we can also come back in here, and I'm going to draw a line going right through here. So let me just go in Polyline, go to Nearest, and I'll select somewhere, let's say right there. And I'm just kind of, I'm just fudging this in for this demonstration. I'm just putting some information in here. I'll put Nearest right there. And then let me go to the other side and do the same thing. I'll go back to Nearest, pick on it here. And you can see that I'm just using AutoCAD polylines to be able to put this information in. That's what's really great about this. Now, since I have this line work in here, what I want to do is go ahead and add this as a lot edge. So I'll go to lot edge, and I pick both of these, both polylines, hit the enter key, and now it gives me my lots inside of here. Now what I want to do is I want to change this up because I've got 15,000 square foot lots on the outside, but I want to change up my lot size in the inside here. So what I'll do is I'll go over here to Subdivide Area, pick inside this area, and tell it, you know what, I want to use 17,000 square foot. So I'll pick OK. I'll go ahead and pick at the beginning here. It'll lay in my lots for me, 17,000 square feet, and the remainder is at the end. But if you notice, these three lots are at 17,000. Okay? Now I'll go ahead and do this other lot here, and I'll keep it at 17,000. Pick at the beginning. It lays in those lots. Now those lots are also 17,000, 17,000. Now I've got the remainder at the end. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is go back in, I'm going to put both of these in, but these I'm going to change up a little bit here. Instead of having, I'll pick inside, but instead of having 17,000 square foot lots, I'm going to change them over to 16,000. So you can see how powerful a tool this is if you're a land planner, if you're an engineer that lays out your lots, or if you're a surveyor that lays out lots, how good this could be for you as far as helping you lay out your lots. Well, let's go ahead and repeat. I got one more to do here. We'll keep it at 16,000. And then we're going to come back and make a correction on something. I don't like how this lot right here came in, so I want to modify this. So what I want to do is come in here and use the Remove Lot Edge. So I'm going to pick in here, remove the lot edge, and it divides it out. It's 32,000 square feet right here. Then what I want to do is come in here and just draw a polyline. I'll snap to Nearest somewhere, let's say right there. And then I'll come over here and I'll go to Nearest again, and I'll pick on this point right here. So now for me to divide this out is I just need to go over here and tell it to add lot edge. So I go over to Add Lot Edge, pick it, and it divides out my lots. You can see this one's 16,818.1, and this is, 15,181.9. Now, if you want to round these off or get these to a certain number, again, you could use your sliding side area where you pick inside, you pick the side that you want to adjust, and I'm going to enter in 15,000 500. And when I do that, it makes an adjustment on the line work, but it also updates my text. Now I've got 16,500 and 15,500 square feet here. So this is a really, really good tool on modification on things. Now let's go back over here, because you may have some areas. I've showed you how you can divide a lot out, how you can type in a certain number for it to fit in there. But let's say you have something like this, where this lot ends here and this lot's in here. You want to clean this up right here. So what we have are some tools that you can move lot edge, you can remove a lot edge, and you can add a lot edge. What I'm going to use is a tool called Move Lot Edge. So I'll pick on it, select my line, and I'll get close to it and pick, and then I'll tell it, well, I'm going to snap nearest, and I want to snap it to right here. You can see that change right there. Now I'll just hit the Enter key, and it updates my line work. It also updated my information as far as square feet. That is a great tool to modify problems that you run into with properties like that. Now let's go down here at the bottom. These are pretty square lots, 15,000 square feet. And we have another command called hinged area. Now on the hinged area, I'm going to pick inside. I'm going to tell it to adjust on the right side here. I'm going to tell it to go 16,000 square feet. And watch what it does. It adjusts the back. It hinged it right here and had the back end go out. So I have exactly 16,000 square feet. So that's another good tool going around cul-de-sacs if you need to modify certain things in there. But this is a really good tool is what I've showed you so far and how to get your lots laid out in here. Now what I want to do is I want to go over here. I want to turn on my label lines and arcs. So I'll hit OK. And then I will come over here to Area Layout, and I'll tell it to Lot Network Labels, redraw all my Lot Network labels. And it's going to come in here and redraw everything in for me. It's also going to do my line table. That's what it's asking for right now. I'll pick my location for my line table. I'll pick my location for my curve table. And it'll put all my annotation on here as far as curve table, line tables. And you can see here in the cul-de-sac how it labeled my bearing and distance, how it gives my like L17 for the line table, C39, C40. So my curve table, I can have that information in there. And even on here, I've got it set up that if it's a certain distance, that it's going to do a line table instead of trying to label it. And that's a great tool so you don't get text, kind of overlapping text and kind of looking messy. It actually cleans it up. Well, let's go over here and look at the line table itself so you can see what it gives you. In here it gives you like line 1, the bearing and the distance, the information that you need there. Also in the curve table, in here you can set this up so that you can have it in any order that you want. You can have the curve, you can have the radius, arc length, chord bearing, and delta angle. There's others that you can add into it. It's very customizable that you can make any change that you need in here. If I wanted chord bearing to be first, I would just need to go into my annotation settings and set that up. So from looking at this here, I've adjusted my lots, I've modified my lots, I have labeled all my lots, I have my curve tables, my line tables. I've got a lot of information in here. Now let's start getting some reports from this. So if I go over here to Area Layout, I can go to Lot Network Utilities, and I can tell it to output a lot file. So I'll come over here to the lots. Now I'm going to give this a name. This is called Sherman Oaks. So I'm going to just give it the same name. Hit Save. It's asking me for a coordinate file because this is actually going to place coordinates all throughout the subdivision. So I'm going to go to New, and we'll just call this STK-Sherman Oaks. Go ahead and hit Open. Tell me starting point number. I'll start off at point number 1. And it tells me down at the bottom, output 53 lots with 360 points. Okay? So let's do this. Let's go over here to Area Layout. let's go to our lot file manager. Let's grab our Sherman Oaks. Let's grab our coordinate file. And in here, there's different commands that you can set up. I'm going to tell it to select all my lots. I'm going to tell it to give me a report. When I pick on this, you can set up different reports in here as far as report areas only, report stations, report elevations, report point descriptions, add a page break between lots, use a report format. If there's a special report format that you need to have it in, you could probably modify it to what your standard is. I'm just going to go ahead and tell it to pick on lot report. And what this does, it tells me my lot file. It gives me the date and time at the top. It tells me lot number 1. Here's point number. There just gives me the bearing, the distance, the northing and easting, and what station it is. If there's any curves, it gives me the curve information. It also gives me the closure area distance, the total distance traversed, and the lot area in square feet and acreage. And this right here is lot 1. If I scroll down, you'll see this is lot 2 right here. But I went ahead and listed them all. If you just wanted to, you could just check on just one of them and have it print out also. You can save this as a file, as let's say a DOC or a document, Excel spreadsheet. You can also print this out to any 8.5 by 11 printer. You can also do a screen pick and have it shown up in your drawing. So we give you a lot of different options besides just a print. So you just print it out. You can save it as a file and come back to it. You can print it on your screen, so it's a CAD object, set it up as MText. So we give you a lot of different options there. All right. Now let's draw our points in going around our subdivision. So I just go over to points, tell it to draw locate points, and I tell it to draw all. This is going to draw all my points into the drawing. And if we go down here, this is a good place to look. You can see that it put in my PC and PT point, it put in my radius point, and it put in my points at each one of my lots. Let's go over here and take a look here. Even if a line went straight through, it still placed a point at that intersection of the other lot, which is a very good tool when you're doing this. Okay? All right, so I've shown you the kind of the hand way of modifying your lots, putting them in, going through your project. Let me go ahead and save this file. Now I'm going to go in, I'm just going to go to Windows, and I have another drawing set up, and it's called Clearwater Oaks. And on this one, I'm going to do very similar to what I just did, but this time, I'm going to have it draw in my right-of-ways, put in a cul-de-sac for me, and lay my lots out using road network. So we got to go back from the beginning, and let's just go to lot network settings. We need to give that a name. I'll use Clearwater Oaks. Inside here, I'm going to go ahead and have it label my line work and arcs. Go ahead and label my areas. I'm going to set up my setbacks. My setbacks will be 20 feet from the front, 10 from the side, and 10 from the back. All right, I'll just go ahead and hit OK. I'll go ahead and pick my boundary. So I come in here and I select my boundary. And then I go to the next step, which is my road network. Now in here, I need to give it a file name. I'll just pick on New, and I'll go ahead and call this Clearwater Oaks. I'll go ahead and pick Open. It's added the road network on the left side over here. Now in my settings box, I come in here and it tells me my site intersection radiuses are 25 feet. My create lots, if I go to my settings, it's right now set at 16,000. I'm going to reset that back to 15,000 square feet, and it's got my settings from what they were before. I'm going to also add to last lot, so I want my last lot to be bigger. And I'll hit OK. And then I'll come in here and I will add my roadways there. Now this center line here, it's just a polyline. Now we have ways under centerline inside the software to input edit your information, okay? Or you can do it right inside of the road network. I'm just going to go ahead and go to add. I'm going to screen pick a polyline, which I'll pick this one here. I'll assign a centerline file name to it, and I like to keep my roads basic, so I'll just call it RD1 for roadway 1. Now my right-of-way offset. I'll come in here. I need to give this a name. I'm going to call it 20 feet. So I'll just call it 20. I'll come over to Edit, and I'll tell it that my right-of-way left offset should be 20 feet, and the right side should be 20 feet. Now, if I want to add other line work in here for different offsets, like back of curb, edge of pavement, I would just hit Add here and give it the different offsets. So you can have more than just your right-of-way and center line shown in the drawing. All right, I save it, hit Exit. That one's set up. Now, I'll just do Add again. Screen pick my polyline, which I'll grab this roadway. Assign centerline file to polyline. So this is going to be RD2 for roadway number 2. I'll use the same 20 offset that I used in roadway number 1. And I've got one more roadway here, which will be my road 3. And I'll call it RD3. And I'll use the 20-foot offset. Now, if you notice, it found intersections on all 3 of these. There's the roadway 1 and the end of roadway 2. Here's roadway 1 and the start of roadway number 3. And here's roadway 2 at the end of roadway number 3. So we found our intersections for you in the road network. Now I want to add a cul-de-sac right here at the end. So I'll go to Process. Well, I'm sorry. I had an instant message pop up, and I tried to close it down and hit the wrong button. Once this finishes out, I'll show you. If you accidentally hit the wrong button for some reason, this is a nice feature into the software, is that I can just come back over here to Add, pick a roadway number 1, pick in here for my cul-de-sac radius of 46 feet, my fillet radius at 25 feet. Now I've got it starting at the end of it. You can also do an offset, like a full left or right. You can do a teardrop and set up your setbacks in here. I'll just hit OK. And this time I'll tell it reprocess. And this time when it reprocesses, it puts in my cul-de-sac. And then you'll see my lots pop in. And I won't get those warning messages like you saw a while ago. The reason why I got the warning messages is because this roadway didn't end right here. It needed to go all the way through for me not to get the warning messages. But it's still processed even with the warning message. It's just letting you know at these coordinate files, at this coordinate location, there's a problem. Now you'll see that it's laying in my lots, putting the acreage in square feet in here. It's actually labeling all my lots for me as I do this, doing my curve table and my line table, which you'll see over here. So if I come down here and take a look at this, you can see my lots are 15,000 square feet. This one here was one of the last lots, so it's extended over. And again, if there is a lot that you want to subdivide here, I'll come in here, use a polyline, snap to nearest. Come in here, snap to nearest right here. And I'll add this as a lot edge. So when I add this as a lot edge, it divides them out for me, and it labels it for me. You can see how quick and easy that is in the software. Now let's go up to the cul-de-sac up here and take a look at it. If you wanted to make a change in here, you can. Like right here with this line, how it kind of goes in. You may say, you know what, I want to bring this line right to this point. So you come over here to your Move Lot Edge. You pick it, you pick close to it, and then let's say I just want to snap to end point. So I'll just snap right to that end point. I'll hit the Enter key, and it will update both lots and fix all my line work and my text for me. That is a very nice tool, how automatic it is on fixing the information. So now, or let's say if I wanted to add more into this lot, I could do that. This lot is a very small lot at 11,000. This one's at 27,000. There's, like I said, you can move these, you can make any adjustment that you need to into the software. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and window out here. And let me go ahead and hit save. All right, Gary, is there any questions so far?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, Gary?
There we go.
All right, you still there?
I am. I had my phone muted, and I couldn't figure out how to shut that off. so far, Scott. The first one was just what hardware are you running the software, the program on? Can you just show us that?
Yes, I'll just go to my Start menu, go to My Computer, go to Properties. I'm running Windows XP Professional. I have an older laptop. This thing's about 4 years old. It's a 1400 gigahertz with a 1 gig of RAM on it. So, I mean, it's not a very powerful machine right here.
Right. Okay, great. Just wanted to, there was a question about that. And the next question we have is minimum ACAD version you must have, and that's basically, we'll run on versions 2000 through 2008. With our new version 2008 of Carlson, we'll go all the way back to AutoCAD 2000. So I'll do that one. There were a couple questions about lot numbers.
Okay.
Now, when you were editing in the previous data set, but you could probably do it here as well. If you,
this one here.
Yeah, let's say, like if you, let's see, we've got lot 1 and lot 48. So if you did like an adjustment, they should maintain the numbers. Someone thought the numbers changed. Now, obviously, if you add a line, it's going to have to make a new lot and do some numbering. Yeah. But if you just move a sliding bearing or some kind of an adjustment, the numbers should hold.
Hey, Gary, real quick, I will move this lot right here so people can see this. I'll move it right over to here. It was lot 48 and lot 1, and you can...
Right, no change. Good, okay. Now, if there is change in numbering, then we do have the tool to renumber. Do you want to show that one?
Yes, I'll show it right now. We have renumber lots, which what I can do is pick my starting lot name. Let's use an example here. Let's start at 46. So 46. And then I'll pick a line and I'll cross over all 4 of these lots here. And I could keep going in directions, but I'll stop it right there. And if you notice here, it does 46, 47, 48, 49. I probably should have done a 146, add 100 to it so you could see it a little bit better. Mm-hmm. I'll run that command again one more time. Let's start off at 100. Pick here, and now you'll see the lots change. 100, 101, 102, 103.
Right, okay, excellent. Someone's saying they have a 2008 demo, and it says LotNet must have a minimum version of 2005. So I'm a little confused because we really don't have 2008 demos out yet. So I think there's a little confusion there.
Yeah, because I'm running this on AutoCAD 2007.
Right.
I have AutoCAD Map 2004 that I run it on.
Right, and it should go all the way back to 2000. And if there's a 2008, the only thing that's out there is we do have some beta testers. So if this gentleman is a beta tester, that's one situation. But if you're thinking it's a 2008 beta, he says. Okay, so again, I'm not aware personally of any warning about you have to have 2005 to run LotNet, but could be something I'm not aware of. So Rick is his name. Rick, if you could give us an email. Mine is grosen, Grosen, at Carlson, SW, and Scott's is sgriffin. And if you could just follow up with an email, that'd be great, and we'll pin this down. Again, I'm not aware of any. Are you, Scott, of any?
No, not at all. Like I said, I'm running 2004 and 2007.
Right. So I'm not sure what's going on there, Rick, but get in touch. We'll help you with that. Is the webinar available for viewing at a later time? Scott, do you know, or are we recording this one?
What? I did not record this one. I'm actually going to make some movies this week, and I'm going to make them a little bit shorter so it covers certain parts, like if you want to edit, to show the different edit tools, and then do one just on road network, so they're smaller files if they wanted to download them. But I'll get those made by the end of the week.
I do believe someone is recording this as well, and so that's David Toom. again, David, if you could email us, and if we've got it recorded somewhere, we'll point you in that direction. Next question, can the text be cleaned up in automatically after the lots are renumbered? It appears some text is on each other. So, and I noticed, too, when you did that renumber, there were a couple lots that doubled up some text.
The area layout, tell it to redraw all lot network text.
There you go.
It cleans it up and
That's
for you.
Excellent. Good job. Thank you. I think that's all the questions. Oh, hang on one second. Quick one here. When we calculate the minimum area of our lots, the lot width is from the setback line. How would I do that? Minimum area using the setback. I believe that's one of the choices, isn't it, Scott?
Yes, it is. It's one of the things. That's why you can set it up so that it's 50 feet. And then this comes more into cul-de-sacs, where I find designers running into this, is they want it to be not 50 feet up here, but 50 feet for the setback of the lot. And that can be set up into the software.
Right. I think there's Dave put an option in there to calculate from the setback, I believe, in there. So, okay. Are you going to cover how to create a centerline profile? Probably not today, I would imagine.
That'll be tomorrow at 2:30.
Right. Tomorrow we're doing one on Road Network, and then we can talk more about that then. And of course, and Scott, I know you're going to mention these things, but I'll just throw in that, we're all available. The sales force out there is all available to follow up with individual webinars or webcasts. Basically, just it's a different it's a GoToMeeting, but it's just for a smaller group, and we can certainly follow up. But as far as that specific question, there will be that tomorrow. And the rest of the question is how to offset a curb in a subdivision from a CAD disk we receive from an engineer. So I would say that would also probably be a good one for tomorrow.
What is that question again?
That was offsetting a curb in a subdivision, and the gentleman is saying it's from a CAD disk we received from an engineer. So you get a file in, it's got a polyline for the curb, and you want to offset it. We have tools to do that horizontally and vertically.
We got 3D offset, and then just, yeah.
Right, exactly. So, again, those are some ones that we could certainly be happy to demonstrate individually. Just give us an email, and then tomorrow we may cover some of that. I got a message that this is being recorded, and I can point you in that direction. The info on webinars is all on carlsonsw.com. So if you go to our website, we'll have a schedule there. We are rapidly putting together a weekly schedule. And so we hope to every week be able to show different parts of the software and so on. So keep your eye on carlsonsw.com.
Here, you can contact Carlson Software or your local reseller for more information about the civil products. You can also go to our website. You can also find a reseller closest by you. I've got my email address down here. And also, there's Gary Rosen, that if you need to talk to him, his is grosen@carlsonsw.com. And one other thing is on the Carlson pricing on this stuff, what you just saw was Civil 2008, and the price on that is $1,500. The Survey 2008 is $1,500. Hydrology is $1,000. GIS is $1,000. And if you buy the Civil Suite, which includes Civil, Survey, Hydrology, and GIS, the Civil Suite is $3,500. You can also add a network version of this at a 10% of the cost. So if it's Civil 2008 just by itself, for $150 more, you could have a network copy of it. Maintenance, it depends on how many copies of the software you have. We go anywhere from 10% to 5%, depends on the number of copies. So if you just have one copy of Civil, maintenance per year on that is $150. And if, let's say, you went 3 years before you upgraded, we just do a flat fee of 15% to get you back up.
Excellent. That's great. Thanks. Another question here. Can we change the units to SI units? Which I remember vaguely SI, but I'm not, Scientific International, I believe. I'm showing my ignorance here, but I don't. Are you familiar with that at all, Scott?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, SI, I have to say I'm drawing a blank, but again, that's Jackie. If you could just forward an email, we can get that to our developer, and he probably knows more than.
Well, let me pull up.
Metric. Okay, Jackie's come back with metric. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we can do metric. We can. Yes, we can set that all up.
SI is metric. I'm getting yelled at by a bunch of people saying, hello, don't you know SI is metric? So I guess I did not know that, so I show my ignorance. But metric, I recognize that term, and yes, we absolutely work fluently in metric as well as imperial units.
And in your drawing setup, I have it set for English, but you can set it for metric.
Yep, good. Is the LotNet monster included in Carlson's survey? And the answer is yes.
It is.
It will in the 2008 version, of course. Standalone or running on AutoCAD, either one. Correct, Scott?
That is correct.
Okay, excellent. What else do we have? Will the LotNet check the surface elevations to help with lot sizing? There's a whole nother functionality here that really ties a little bit into the road network, where you can elevate the lots based on the elevation of the road. Everything Scott's shown today is essentially 2D. If you move, he can actually move this RDN file, and I don't think he'll have time today, but I'm not sure. But the RDN file that Scott created to lay out the lots is the same file that is used in our road network, where we do full road design 2D and 3D. If you use that RDN file over there, then you can check boxes over there to say elevate lots and elevate pads, and it will take all the lot lines generated by the lot network and elevate them based on the elevation of the road. And of course, the amazing beauty of that is that as the road changes and you reprocess, you can see that. So Scott's bringing up that menu. I don't know, Scott, do you want to segue over there?
Well, you know what? I've never used it before, so I say I'm going to steer clear of it.
Right. You're going to steer clear. That's fine.
Show people that you can elevate pads, and there are you can elevate your lots and your pads in here. And we do have a movie that we could put on our website that Dave Carlson did that shows this elevated. But also, there are grading rules that you have to set up before you can really get into this step.
Right. If you, well, yes, we could show that tomorrow. I've been through that, and it's quite straightforward. I'm not sure if we want to. Do you have other stuff, Scott, for today, or if not, we could kind of go through there. If you want to take a shot, it's up to you.
Well, I'm kind of done here. Was there any more other? Was there any other?
No, I think that's most of our questions. Let's see. Will LotNet check? Oh, surface elevations. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just take a quick shot at this. You want to?
Hang on. One more thing. One thing I wanted to show you was Lot Network Inspector. We have lots of different types of inspectors.
Oh yeah.
By picking this, I can go inside this lot. It tells me what the lot number is, area square feet, perimeters, and the frontage. So this allows me to know what the information is as far as the frontage when I'm moving from lot to lot. It tells me up in the left-hand corner.
Yeah, that's an amazing tool to just hover over the lots.
It highlights them.
And see all that information, absolutely.
That is correct. Okay.
So I'll tell you, let me just finish this.
Well, should I give you control on this? Or?
Well, the thing is, I don't really have a data set ready to go, but I'll tell you what, let's be brave, shall we?
Okay.
Okay, so here's where we're going to go. If you exit out of there and go to your 3D data menu.
Yep.
And head down to Elevate by Grade Rules and define lot edge grade rules. Now these are called the GRR file. It's a grade rules, and we'll make a new one, Clearwater Oaks. And the beauty of this, and this is why I think we can pull this off, is which is a really nice feature of Carlson, I have to say, is it's ready to go. It's loaded with defaults that make perfect sense. You can obviously edit everything, but you can also use it right out of the box. So what you're seeing here is essentially grade these lots with a 2% grade, and then a minimum maximum is 1 in 10, so they can be adjusted to balance your volume. It's going to start with a 2%. You can also make changes moving your way down the lot line. So you have a distance and a slope, and you could say, okay, for the first 50 do this, and then for the next 100 do this, and that's what this is for here. But again, so as you're moving from the front to the back of the lot, you can actually make grade changes, which is really awesome. But we can cancel here and not do that. And then the back of the lot says, what do you want to? How do you want to establish the elevation for the back of the lot? And there's also an option at the very bottom to set the back lot edge at the existing ground, which you could say, okay, take the back lot edge and just put it on existing ground and make it fit. And I guess we'll leave that off as well. So let's save and exit, and we have our GRR file, which is in the LotNet RoadNet folder.
Gary, I don't have an existing surface here.
Oh, we don't have an existing surface. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Maybe we could work on this and show it tomorrow, Scott. How's that sound?
Yeah, we can work on this and show it tomorrow. We're going to have time tomorrow to be able to show this stuff.
That'd be great.
One of the one things that I really wanted to show today was how the editing tools inside the software really worked for you. And being able to divide your lots out, be able to modify a lot. If you don't like what Carlson gives you, you can just use AutoCAD, draw something in, and have it divide your lots out.
Absolutely.
Here's a good example right here. You see this lot? If I come in here and tell it to remove this lot edge, it gives me my square feet and acreage, and then let's say I want to just split the lot right down the middle for some reason. Maybe a designer wouldn't want to do that, but you do have the option inside of Carlson to get that figured out as the designer of your lots. And then I'm going to go to nearest right here, and then I'm going to convert that into a lot edge. And when I convert it to a lot edge, it'll subdivide each one of those lots for me. You see how quick and easy it is to use when you have editing tools. And we all know that people make modifications on subdivisions because you may design something out, give it to the owner, and then they may mark something up and give it back to you. Okay?
Excellent. Let's see, a couple more questions coming in. How will LotNet distinguish between roadway reserve and drainage reserve? I'm not sure I'm following that one completely.
Not sure what they mean by reserve.
Right. If you could clarify, that's from Jackie. If you could clarify reserve for us, it's probably like SI. It's probably something we're familiar with and just don't know that term, perhaps. If the center line of the road is moved, will it update the lot layout? There's a good one, and absolutely. We have a great new tool in 2008 where you can actually edit the center lines on screen, as well as, of course, you always have the editor, but we also have edit on screen as a new function where you can actually just pick the center line, and we have grips that we've created, new grips. And you can actually do that as well. But however you do it, however you approach the editing of the center line, it absolutely, everything just updates right away. Let's see what Scott's going to go in here. There's a center line, so maybe change a radius of a curve or something. Looks like he's going to go do.
I'm going to tell it to hold the PI, change it from 150 to 250, tell it OK, save it, exit, hit OK. You can see graphically how it's changed on the screen, but now when I hit process, you'll see my lots all adjusted and changed and relayed out in here. It's going through here, refiguring my lots out.
That's awesome.
It'll take a few seconds here for that to figure out.
While that's working, can you enter the layout for the roads and stormwater drainage at the same time? And basically, all the road work is centered around the road network. The lots is the lot network, but those can be tied together with the RDN file. The storm drain is basically what we call a pipe net or storm net, and that's another network that we have, which is only in our hydrology software, and that allows you to just go right in and put in your structures and your your pipes and everything as a network. And again, that can be linked to the roads as well. And all those networks, the road network, the lot network, and the pipe network all interact.
You can see that it's made its change right through here.
Let's take a look. Yeah, unbelievable. Great, thank you. So yes, again, with the addition of hydrology, now in the civil itself, there are some capabilities to put in a pipe run in just kind of almost a drafting effort. It's there. It's kind of minimal. In hydrology is where you really get the power of the pipe network.
Also on June 20th, Bruce Carlson will be showing hydrology. I recommend for you to sign up for that class so you can see how pipes are done, how you can set a low points inside of road network, have them place points in the drawing, which I'll show tomorrow, and then how you can get our hydro be able to place in your storm sewer outfalls, your pipe runs, all that information.
Really, just another great piece of the software. Question here, is there any chance the lot lines created are perpendicular to the curves and lines of the right-of-way, or are they random depending on the parameters set? They appear to be perpendicular coming away from the center line, Scott, as much as possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right here.
I believe that's what's happening there. It appears to be. And of course, in certain places it can't do that, so it comes up with a better plan, but they appear to be perpendicular.
I just snapped at that end point, and I had it draw a line on top of it.
Yep.
I went perpendicular to the center line. Yep. And so that's the line it drew.
You're right on top of it. So it appears that at least that's the first rule that it attempts to use. I'm assuming all the results are native AutoCAD entities. This comes from Landshark. We don't know who Landshark is. He's our mystery guest. And Landshark, yes, everything that we do in Carlson software is standard AutoCAD entities, polylines, text. We do not use custom ARX objects. It's just kind of the philosophy of Carlson, and these drawings can be basically given to someone with AutoCAD LT, and they can open it and everything's there. All of the magic happens through extended entity data. That's how our developers work. So the magic happens, and the updating and the rippling effect and the dynamic nature of it all is there. Profiles update, sections update, volumes update, but it all happens with standard entities. Can lot edges coming off the cul-de-sac contain angle points? You know that one, Scott? Lot edges coming off cul-de-sac contain angle points. You could put them in.
Yeah, I mean, let me just do this example. I can come over here, snap to nearest, let's say right here. And is this what he's looking for? Then right here?
I'm thinking that possibly, how about this? You see one of those lot lines that's already existing coming off of the cul-de-sac? How about if you add a point? That's a tool you haven't shown, is to add a point to a lot line. That's a great one.
Okay, let's pick it. Let's pick my point right there. That's been added.
And you can move that maybe and put an angle in there.
I'll pick it. Pick here. I'll stretch it down to there.
There you go.
Maybe that's what he was looking for.
Yep. And you can actually do that. If you do that again, Scott, add a point and pick another lot line. And then don't pick on the line. Pick where you want the new vertex to be. And then I think it'll just jump right over there, I believe. Is that going to work?
No.
No. Add a lot edge point. Pick the lot edge.
Ask me to.
And then just pick over in the lot somewhere. I think it'll jump. There you go. See, one step puts it right over there, and you press enter, and it should rebuild it. So you don't even have to add it and then move it. It'll just do it. So there you go. If that's the question, I'm not sure, but there's lot edges containing angle points. Let's see. I think that's about all I've got. There's a question about training, and Again, please feel free to contact us. Scott, you want to talk a little bit about our training opportunities, though?
On training, we have a great training department. Carlson just started a training department back in October. We actually purchased a company called Outsource. The guy that leads that is named Harry Ward. He has very professional trainers that train people. Harry's been well known throughout the industry for writing articles in different magazines, and he is a licensed PE, and the trainers are also. Ken Crawford is another guy that does training, and we have training classes set up all over the place. The best thing to do is go to our website, look on the training calendar, and see where training classes are set up, or contact your sales representative or your local reseller and talk to them, because you may want a custom class at your office. So that's something that can be set up also. So we have regional classes and we have custom classes for training.
Excellent. That's a great new thing that we're building rapidly, and again, just lots of places to get in touch. A question about tying into Carlson GIS, and absolutely, all these lots can be fed directly into Carlson GIS and linked to an external database. So if you've got a database and it's got all of these lot owners, and basically you could use the lot number to link them together. We basically do full GIS entities in the drawing linked to external data for querying and reporting and so on. That's all available, so absolutely you can segue right over there, and thanks for that good question. I think that's all the questions that we've got, Scott, and I think we're just about up with time. Great job.
Thank you very much.
I think we're all set. I think all the questions are done for the moment. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Gary, and everyone. Thanks for watching the demonstration on LotNet. And tomorrow at 2:30, I'll be covering RoadNet. There's some very good stuff I'll be showing as far as intersection design, cul-de-sac designs, being able to change your profile up and see your cross-sections update automatically. Very exciting stuff tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern Time Zone. Thank you very much, and I'll leave this up on my screen. If people need to write down the phone number or my email address or our website, you can go in and check out information.